Hey everyone, I'm Jake Cohen, editorial director here at Feedfeed, and today we are showing you the tips and tricks for the ultimate cheese and charcuterie board with our friends at Three Little Pigs. We've got mousses, we've got pate, we've got mustards and pickles and all the accoutrements, and we're going to show you the tips and tricks on building that gorgeous board that also has the perfect flavor pairings. We're gonna work on my French today. We have salumi, charcuterie, mousse au cèpe with porcini mushrooms, mousse truffée with truffles, pate basque, which has all of these incredible spices. We've got some moutarde à l'ancienne, which is in between Dijon and whole grain, petit poivron, which are little baby pickled peppers, cornichons, which are the pickled gherkins, caper berries. So we already have some pickles. I'm going to add on even more with some fresh veggies that we are going to pickle up. I got some radishes, cauliflower, and carrots, as well as we are going to make an onion confit. Super simple. This is kind of like my go-to interchangeable pickle recipe. I'm going to quarter radishes, throw them in a jar. You just want to pour on hot pickling liquid, let it cool completely, cover them, throw them in the fridge. Next day, they're good to go. Now let's do carrots, about a 1/4 inch, coins on a bias. If you have purple carrots, keep them separate because they will dye the other carrots. And then finally, 1/4 of a cauliflower. And I'm just gonna break them into small florets. We're going to add in a sprig of thyme to each, a 1/2 teaspoon of coriander seeds. This is ready to get topped with hot pickling liquid, sugar, salt, white wine vinegar, and water. 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons of kosher salt, 1½ cup white wine vinegar, and 1½ cups of water. I'm going to stir this over medium-high heat until the sugar and salt are completely dissolved. These are covered. I'm going to let them cool to room temperature. Then I'm going to throw on some lids, pop them in the fridge, and let them chill overnight. Technically, as soon as they cool down, you can use them, but they're so much better the next day. Onion confit, we are going to take minced onions, throw them in a saucepan, cover them with oil, and let it go low and slow. What does it mean to confit? Confit traditionally is when an animal, duck legs, chicken legs, is cooked in its own fat. Onions don't have fat, so we're going to be using olive oil. So I love the combination of savory charcuterie and a little bit of sweetness. Something like honey would be a little overpowering. So by confiting the onions, you're able to get that hint of sweetness kind of still rooted in like a vegetal, slow-cooked onion flavor. So we have our onions that are minced. I'm gonna throw on 3/4 of a cup of olive oil, as well as season with some salt and pepper. We bring this to a simmer over medium heat. Once it starts bubbling, I'm gonna get it down on low and let it go for about 45 minutes. Once it's done, I'm gonna let it cool completely, and then you got a beautiful onion confit. We have everything ready. Our onion confit has cooled and we are ready to assemble this monster of a board. Why don't I talk through everything that's gonna go on and then I will start building. We have some cheeses, mild brie, a Gruyere, super nutty, rich. We have caper berries, cornichons, whipped goat cheese, microgreens, gorgeous terrine with armagnacs, 2 types of sausage, jambon sec. This is pate. The main difference between pate versus a mousse is obviously spreadable and a pate is sliceable. Mustard is mainly for the sausage. It's not going to be something that you're going to want to pair with mousse since it's super intense. However, with the mousse, we're going to want to throw on lingonberry jam, something that's super tart and bright, adds a good amount of flavor to the board. Same with these petits poivrons, these little pickled peppers. We have our onion confit, just chicken liver mousse. We have a chicken and pork liver mousse with cep, which are porcini mushrooms, Basque mousse, which has espelette pepper mixed in, as well as our chicken and pork mousse with truffles. We have our pickles, added so much color, and behind them we have our petit toasts from Three Little Pigs, as well as some freshly sliced baguette. Let's build! So I'm going to talk you through kind of like my mentality. First things first, we're going to get started with our meats and our cheeses, and then we build from there. Since we're doing a mousse heavy board, we got some pate, I'm going to space these out. Boom, 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 boom. As well as our goat cheese, our pate. Get the brie over here. What I like to do with many cheeses like brie is I will pre-slice and then put a knife in. Often people feel daunted to cut into the cheese first. It's our Gruyere, the terrine. I'm going to start to fill the holes with some of the cured meats. I just folded them over and made these cute roll-ups. And then this is our saucisson. What I like to do, kind of go with the curves, build around the bowls. And this is just our regular saucisson sec. Beautiful. Let's fit in a few more bowls. We have our onion confit. I'll put that over here. We have our lingonberry jam. Fit that in over there. This is the basis. Starting to build, I always go with all the bowls, and now we have these holes here. And what I want to do is I want to start to concentrate the pairings based on what I think they go well with. In this area, this to me is screaming like pickle world. So I'm going to throw in the cornichon and the caper berries over here. The whole point of a cheese and charcuterie board is you want it to be enticing. You want your guests to want to come in and just destroy it. So it should look nice and gorgeous, but it also should be approachable so people don't feel too uncomfortable digging in. All right, let's go in with some of our homemade pickles. Look at this beautiful pink color we got from our radishes. Let's go in with cauliflower. The carrots, which I think are going to go so well with the goat cheese and the Basque. Those start to spill out. And then these pretty guys, I'm going to get them right in there. And now let's start with the crackers. In addition to baguette, I'll put these slices in little kind of pouches. Last but not least, microgreens. These add that kind of little delicate vegetal flavor. Obviously, you don't want something kind of as intense as like a fresh herb like thyme or rosemary or sage. So this is kind of what adds that little bit of brightness without overpowering anything. Feeling good about this. I think this looks pretty good. A little spoon. We're set. Time to dig in. And there you go, all of my tips and tricks for the perfect charcuterie and cheese board with all the accoutrements. Thank you so much to Three Little Pigs for giving us the mousses, the pâtés, the cornichons, everything from soup to nuts to build this incredible board. You can head to the feedfeed.com to get the recipe and all the other details, and we'll see you next time.